To punish a criminal who evaded legal justice, the killer steered a lifelike robotic fly into the culprit's room and secretly dropped poison into his drinking water. News of Kingfisher's double kill quickly trended online. As public opinion swelled, doubts began to surface. Since the police had not disclosed Chairman Qian's real-world crimes, many believed Kingfisher might have killed the wrong people. Some even suspected the mysterious vigilante, long hailed as a force for justice, had turned into a demon taking lives at will. Taesung, who had been investigating Chairman Qian's case, soon obtained a crucial lead. Following the tip-off, he uncovered the chairman's long-buried misdeeds. Beneath his polished public image as a successful entrepreneur, he had assaulted the family nanny. To cover up the crime, he bribed the ex-convict Old Park to murder the nanny's husband. Once the truth came to light, Taesung compiled his findings into a news report. With Chairman Qian's atrocities exposed, public sentiment completely shifted. The public realized Kingfisher had not slain innocent people, but had targeted villains who had slipped through the cracks of the law. Even Tong Jin, the detective hunting for Kingfisher's identity, breathed a sigh of relief. When Tong Jin asked whether Taesung wanted to meet Kingfisher, Taesung gave a cryptic reply. He said he could not, because he had crossed paths with Kingfisher 8 years earlier. 8 years ago, BOna had just finished a mission and was preparing to leave the scene, when she found a blood-soaked man in the hallway. It was Taesung. Gravely injured and unconscious, he was on the brink of death. As an assassin, BOna could simply have walked away. Yet seeing him lying there, she stopped. She picked up his phone and called an ambulance. Taesung was hospitalized and remained in a coma for 4 months before regaining consciousness. Meanwhile, constant missions had left BOna emotionally and physically drained. She visited the injured team leader Kim in hospital and asked to leave the organization. Team leader Kim tried hard to persuade her to stay, but BOna felt she could no longer find meaning in her life. That night, she stood alone on the hospital rooftop gazing out over the city, pondering her future. Taesung, out for fresh air, spotted her and misread her intentions. Drawing on his own near-death experience, he urged her to value life, explaining that having brushed against death, he cherished every moment of being alive. BOna listened quietly. This man was unlike anyone she had ever known. She was surrounded by death and cold-blooded assignments, yet Taesung spoke of warm, ordinary days, chatting with family, dining with friends, finding joy in small trivial moments. Those commonplace things for ordinary people felt utterly foreign to her. For the first time, she longed for that kind of life. Coming down from the rooftop, she took the cigarette straight out of Taesung's hand, telling him someone who truly valued life should not harm their body. Taesung smiled at this strange woman who had appeared out of nowhere and lectured him. Back home, BOna looked into Taesung. She learned he had written numerous articles about Kingfisher. Unlike other journalists, he neither glorified nor harshly condemned the assassin from a moral high ground. Instead, he sought to understand the motives behind Kingfisher's actions. For the first time, BOna felt truly seen. She visited him in hospital again. During their time together, Taesung grew fond of this unusual woman. Strangers at first, they grew to know one another and eventually married. BOna got to live a normal civilian life for the very first time. Back in the present, given the massive fallout from Kingfisher's double kill, team leader Kim suspended BOna from field operations. This assignment was handed over to Taemin and Hyunnam. Their target was a villain who had burned his parents to death with his own hands yet escaped punishment due to insufficient evidence. To pull off the mission, Taemin built a lifelike robotic fly. When the target picked up his food delivery, the fly slipped into the room. The man spotted the insect and swatted at it repeatedly, noticing nothing out of the ordinary. After he sat back on the sofa to watch TV, Taemin guided the fly toward the mineral water bottle on the table and dropped pre-prepared poison inside. The poison dissolved in water. It would kill whoever drank it within 5 minutes and break down inside the human body 1 hour later, leaving no trace even during an autopsy. Oblivious to the danger, the man drank the water. Minutes later, he collapsed on the floor, lifeless. Hyunnam, taking part in his very first mission, was overjoyed. He shook Taemin's hand and vowed to work harder so he could become someone just like Kingfisher. Elsewhere, BOna's sister-in-law had met Kyideori during the earlier incident when Little Green went missing. Hoping to create another chance to see him, she suggested that BOna and Taesung host a home dinner for their colleagues to thank them for looking after BOna. That evening, the normally cold-blooded assassins gathered around the table posing as ordinary co-workers, eating and chatting. Only Kyideori remained quiet. 8 years ago, he had witnessed BOna saving Taesung. Everyone had expected her to leave the scene, yet she had stayed to call an ambulance. Kyideori knew the incident would put BOna in grave danger if it ever came out. What was more, he harbored a secret. He had feelings for BOna. Before he could confess, however, she had met Taesung. Staring at the loving couple's photo on the table, Kyideori was overcome with mixed emotions. Trying to get his attention, BOna's sister-in-law kept piling food onto his plate and accidentally splashed beer all over his head. Embarrassed, Kyideori fled to the bathroom. There he saw a mug printed with BOna and Taesung's photo, and realized he had no chance with her. As the group left BOna's house, they ran into Tong Jin, who had come to visit Taesung. One side consisted of police hunting Kingfisher, the other were assassins hiding their true identities. Tension spiked during their brief encounter. Team leader Kim reacted fast, behaving like an ordinary co-worker and leading the others away. Tong Jin suspected nothing. Once inside the house, he glanced at the messy dinner table and commented with a smile that Taesung's colleagues seemed very friendly. BOna kept her head down and said nothing. Taesung walked Tongjin out. They talked about Kingfisher again. Tongjin thanked Taesung for his report, which had shown the public that Kingfisher did not kill innocent people. Taesung stayed silent, for deep down he suspected he might already know Kingfisher's true identity. Back home, Kyidery called BOna. He warned her that saving Taesung all those years ago had been extremely risky. One small mistake would have blown her cover. BOna had no regrets. Meeting Taesung had given her the first real life that had ever belonged to her. 8 years earlier, she had wanted to quit being an assassin. Team leader Kim told her to take a break, and Kyidery found her an isolated vacation spot with no signal and no disturbances. None of them could have foreseen that BOna would cross paths with Taesung, who was also on holiday there. That fateful encounter changed her life forever.